The Flannan Isles, a name whispered on the salt-laced breeze, a place shrouded in mystery and legend, a cluster of rocky teeth jutting from a turbulent sea where the waves roar and the winds howl. 7 waves away from the Scottish coast, they stand, steadfast and unyielding, a lonely sentinel against the wrath of the Atlantic, a beacon of light in the darkest of storms. Here, on the edge of the known world, where the wind sings a haunting melody and the waves crash with primal fury, a mystery unfolded. A mystery that would baffle and intrigue for generations. A mystery as deep and unforgiving as the ocean itself, as dark and stormy as the skies above. The year was 1900, a time of change and uncertainty. The world was on the cusp of a new century, yet some corners remained untouched by the march of progress, holding on to their secrets. The Flannan Isles lighthouse, a beacon of hope in the treacherous waters, stood as a symbol of man's struggle against the relentless power of nature. It was a place where the human spirit was tested against the elements. It was here, within the cold stone walls of the lighthouse, that 3 men vanished without a trace, leaving behind only questions and whispers on the wind. December 26, 1900. A date that would become etched in the annals of maritime mystery. A day like any other on the Flannan Isles, the wind howled its mournful song, echoing through the desolate landscape. The waves crashed against the rocks with a fury that spoke of winter's approach, relentless and unforgiving. The lighthouse tender, the Hesperus, arrived for its routine supply run, but was met with an unsettling silence, a silence that seemed to hang heavy in the air. No welcoming light pierced the gloom, an ominous sign that something was terribly amiss. No flag fluttered in the wind, a stark contrast to the usual signs of life and activity. The lighthouse, usually a beacon of life, stood dark and silent, an eerie sentinel against the storm. Unease turned to dread as a boat was dispatched to investigate, the crew's hearts heavy with foreboding. The landing was treacherous, the waves crashing against the rocks, eager to swallow any man foolish enough to brave their fury. The sea seemed almost alive, a malevolent force guarding its secrets. James Duckett, the relief keeper, made his way to the lighthouse, each step heavy with foreboding. The door was unlocked, swinging open with a creak that echoed through the empty halls. Inside, the clock had stopped, its hands frozen in time, as if marking the moment when life on the island ceased. The table was set for a meal, never eaten. The beds lay empty, undisturbed, as if waiting for their occupants to return. The 3 keepers were gone, vanished without a trace, leaving behind only questions and a haunting silence. The Flannan Isles lighthouse had stood for a year, a testament to engineering and human resilience. Its light cut through the darkest nights and fiercest storms, a beacon of hope and safety for sailors navigating the perilous waters. Manned by a rotating crew of 3, it was a lonely vigil, the isolation broken only by the monthly supply runs. These visits were a lifeline, bringing not just supplies but news from the outside world, a brief connection to life beyond the waves. Thomas Marshall, James Duckett, and Donald MacArthur, the keepers on duty that fateful December, were experienced seamen, their lives intertwined with the rhythms of the sea. Marshall, the veteran, had weathered many storms. Duckett, the steady one, was known for his calm demeanor and reliability. And MacArthur, the young apprentice, was eager to learn and full of energy, bringing a youthful spirit to the team. They were guardians of the light, their presence a comfort to sailors navigating the treacherous waters. Each night they ensured the beacon shone brightly, a steadfast guide through the storm. The logbook, a meticulous record of life on the island, held the last entries, mundane details of weather patterns and routine tasks. It was a window into their daily lives, a chronicle of their silent watch. December 15th, the last entry spoke of a fierce storm, the likes of which even these seasoned keepers had rarely seen. The wind howled and the sea raged, testing the limits of their endurance. But storms were part of life on the Flannan Isles, and there was no hint of fear, no premonition of the mystery to come. The calm after the storm was deceptive, masking the enigma that would soon unfold. Theories abound, each more outlandish than the last. Some whispered of a giant wave, a rogue wall of water that swept the keepers away. Others spoke of sea serpents, their tentacles dragging the men to a watery grave. Some even dared to suggest the work of supernatural forces. The island said to be steeped in ancient Celtic lore, a place where the veil between worlds was thin. Yet, the most plausible explanation lay in the mundane. Perhaps a freak accident, a man washed from the rocks while securing equipment during the storm. Perhaps a desperate attempt to rescue one another, the raging sea claiming them all. The evidence, or lack thereof, painted a picture of sudden and inexplicable disappearance. The investigation yielded more questions than answers. The lighthouse itself held no signs of a struggle. The equipment was in order, the only anomaly being a toppled crate and a dislodged piece of railing, perhaps testament to the fury of the storm. The bodies of the keepers were never found, the vast and unforgiving Atlantic refusing to relinquish its secrets. The mystery of the Flannan Isles lighthouse keepers gripped the public imagination. Newspapers ran sensationalized accounts, fueling speculation and intrigue. Songs were written, poems composed, each attempting to make sense of the senseless. Yet the truth remained elusive, lost somewhere in the swirling mists and crashing waves of the Flannan Isles. Some point to the logbook, its final entries filled with strange inconsistencies. Mentions of unusual silences, of one keeper seen weeping, of fear in the face of the storm. Was there more to the story than met the eye? Did the keepers, isolated for weeks on end, succumb to madness, their minds unraveling under the constant pressure of the wind and the waves? Or was it something more sinister, whispers of arguments, of a love triangle gone wrong, of a desperate struggle for survival? Did one of the keepers turn on the others, the isolation of the island pushing him to the brink? The truth, like a phantom ship on the horizon, remained tantalizingly out of reach. Over a century has passed since the disappearance of the Flannan Isles lighthouse keepers. The lighthouse still stands, automated now, a lonely sentinel in the vast expanse of the Atlantic. But the mystery remains, as captivating and as impenetrable as ever. Did the keepers meet their fate at the hands of nature's fury, victims of a tragic accident? Or did something more sinister unfold on that remote and windswept island? The waves keep their secrets, and the mystery of the Flannan Isles endures, a chilling reminder of the power of the sea and the fragility of human life. What truly happened on that December day, shrouded in mist and mystery? Perhaps the answer lies hidden in the depths of the Atlantic, or perhaps it is lost forever to the relentless march of time.